20 miles from the enemy. These are American boys going to work. The morning fighter patrol. They're flying over Italy, and there are others like them flying over Burma, over the coast of Holland, over China, and over Germany, in search of the enemy. Enemy planes. The odds are bad this morning, nearly 3 to 1. The routine morning patrol goes on. They close the range. 3,500 feet, 3,000, 2,500, 2,000. The odds are still 3 to 1. But it's 3 Nazis spinning down in blood and flame to every one of ours. Listen.
Yesterday, I fulfilled one of my ambitions as a combat pilot. I got one airplane.
And an American far from home, fighting a war around the world. Listen again.
This was my leader, and the second ship was me, and 2 Focke-Wulfs came on my right. I turned right and put up a stone wall of bullets, and the first...
A wall of bullets. It wasn't so long ago these men were students in a university, workmen in a shipyard, just plain citizens from everywhere, USA. They changed jobs, they changed clothes. They took a train into the future. They didn't know what the future would be, but many hoped they'd get the chance to fly and fight in the air. Some wanted that chance more than anything in the world. Deep inside Alabama is a famous school called the Tuskegee Institute. It was founded on July 4th of 1881. And since that Independence Day, it has graduated many thousands into agriculture, into science, into industry. This school was the first of its kind, and its founder, Booker T. Washington, was a pioneer who broke open a road for others to follow. This man had a dream, and the dream became stone. He lifted the veil of ignorance from his people and pointed the way to progress through education and industry. Close to this school, close to the work this man had done, the United States government determined to build an airfield. 3 years ago, this was just another farm in Alabama. More than trees had to be cleared away. There was misunderstanding and distrust and prejudice to be cleared away. 3 years ago, there was only an idea. But ideas are powerful things. And today, there are fighter planes flying over. It takes many weeks of learning to make a fighter pilot. And a lot of that learning is done in a hard wooden chair. Because a fighter pilot is a combination of a mathematician and an athlete, a scientist and a sharpshooter. He's got to know what goes on inside his plane. The heart of his fighter is steel and copper. Its bloodstream is gas and oil. But its brain is the man who flies.
Okay, yeah, I talked to Sister Stab. She said she's on her way. Yes.
It's not even a 10 to 15 minute drive from here. I mean,
They're Collin County?
yeah, Collin County, Collin College.
Yeah,
Probably
that's
the same
college.
thing.
I've been going to there.
It's actually a really good school. I mean,
Yeah, I was at El Paso Community College.
I've been to the Quad City campus, and it's really
The
nice.
mid-camp campus is really nice.
Very
I've
nice.
seen that.
afternoon. This is an interview.
Come to the program on Thursday.
I don't blame you. Can I get you anything?
Rich, you need it?
Yes, yes. I want you to meet the best pastor on this side of heaven. We're going to have Dr. Claude Platt speak first. Have Dr. Spann to come in, and you guys just chime in and do what you do best. You've been doing this for a long time. And just share with us your experience as you all were going through this whole process and how the Tuskegee Airmen was first generated.
How do you do? My experience began as a student at Tuskegee. My mother sent me there because she had gone there. And I think while there, in about my sophomore year, President Roosevelt decided that he was going to train whites to be placed on standby in case there was a war, called a CPT program, Civilian Pilot Training Program. Tuskegee was one of 6 colleges that took part in this program. Tuskegee was the last one to join. In that, I volunteered to flying. The only thing I was supposed to do was be placed on standby upon finishing, so I ended up with a private license. So happened that Tuskegee decided to start an aeronautical program. In that program, I earned a flight instructor's rating. By this time, the war started. When the war started, of course, then I qualified to be an instructor when they put the program at Tuskegee. I guess I was real small. I think I was about 18 years old, scared, and really didn't look forward to flying in the Army. But my determination was there, so I put forth a lot of effort. Going through, I found that I had to overcome my fear of flying. I was really afraid of flying. What helped me was when I took my physical and I flunked it the first time. And I couldn't understand why I flunked it, because the physician told me to go back to Tuskegee. He told me to go to bed and get up the first thing the next morning and come back. Gerald Washington took me back and gave me a physical, and I passed it. I couldn't understand why I couldn't pass it the first time. I was too short the first day. Right. Evidently, I had grown overnight, I thought.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm following another hard act here. He was an instructor during the time that I was in Tuskegee, but I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning when I lived in New Jersey, and I was a youngster who lived near the airport and always had the ambition to want to learn how to fly. The airport's on the East Coast called Teterboro Airport. And airplanes used to take off from there and fly right over my house. So when I got out of high school, I was still in high school, some of the fellows I hung around with, they got drafted. And many of those fellows ended up out here in Texas with the Buffalo Soldiers. And the Buffalo Soldiers was a good outfit, but it wasn't what these fellows expected. They didn't get to ride too much. They got to do other duties with the Buffalo Soldiers. And they wrote me and communicated with me and said, look, we know you want to fly, and if you still hold that ambition, you better take an examination and get in the Army Air Corps, because Buffalo Soldiers have a little rough time out here. So I took the advice, and I was in high school, and I didn't have too much problems with mathematics and science, but I had to take a 2-year college equivalency test in order to get into the Army Air Corps at the time. On that test was a lot of science and a lot of mathematics. Fortunately for me, I didn't have too much trouble with math and science in high school. So I passed. Then, after passing, I had to go down to the post office in Newark to be accepted into the Army Air Corps. After that, had to come home and ask my mother, could I go? And she said, son, look, you know, I don't want you to go in the service. That's still emotional to me this day. But you go ahead, son, and I'll pray for you. And I'm standing here today because my mother prayed for me.
This is history, everybody. This is history. And the great thing about this is you get a chance for your own eyes to see, shake their hands afterwards, and tell them that you love them. Because they are a part of the reasons why we have our own Air Force, Army, Navy, Marine individuals that are in the military today. So on behalf of the men of integrity, Mesquite Friendship Baptist Church under our leadership of Pastor Terry L. Turner, we say thank you. We thank the wives, because I know it takes two to make it work. And again, we ask that you all go to the bookstore afterwards. We got a lot of memorabilia there, and they love to take pictures. You see they all decked up and ready for the pictures. And let me tell you something, they look good for their age. Would you agree? Awesome. I mean, they great faculty, and they love to talk. I had to cut them off now, because that's the reason why I stood up. I know they love to talk. But I thank you all. And again, support them in the back. We're trying to get them to Washington this year for the 40th celebration. And last year we were in San Antonio, and I made a mistake. I said it's roughly about, remember I said it was a little under 2,000. Well, it's about 100 that are still alive. That's a blessing, y'all. It's about 100 that's still alive. So let's give them remembrance while they're alive, okay? All right, thank you for your time.
They don't train black pilots. How did that news strike you?
They didn't train black pilots all over the country. They had a special place to train black pilots.
Yes.
And that was promoted by some special people in black history. Booker T. Washington was one of the major people who got this program going. And Eleanor Roosevelt deserves some credit that she pushed it after it got going as an experiment. It was an experimental program, and she pushed it after she came down and made a visit to the place and said that she investigated the training and what we had to go through to be pilots. And she went back to the White House and told Franklin, I think they fly all right. And matter of fact, she flew with one of our cadets, and she was cadet trainee, and she went back to the White House and told Franklin.
Now, we have our good friends in here from VITAS. Patrick Bullock is with us at this time. Now, also today we have the distinct privilege of having some of the great historical, powerful Tuskegee Airmen in studio here with us today. We have Calvin Spann with us today, along with Gwen Spann is here. Claude Platt is with us today. And, of course, also we're looking forward to hearing from Mr. Al Henderson. I do believe that Mr. Henderson's going to be giving us a call here today. And once again, let me just tell you quickly here. Now, Claude R. Platt served as a primary flight instructor at Moulton Field, training over 300 cadets to fly solo and to fly the PT-13s, the PT-17s, and the PT-19s. And of course, the Dallas-Fort Worth chapter here is named after Mr. Platt, and we're glad to have Claude in studio here with us today. Now, also with us today, we have Calvin J. Spann with us today. Now, Calvin, of course, was a member of the legendary 332nd Flight Group. His commander was Benjamin O. Davis, Jr., and he was Roscoe Brown's wingman on a mission to Berlin. And once again, we're glad to have these very distinguished gentlemen in studio with us here today on Heaven 97. And starting off with Patrick Bullock. And Patrick, once again, good to see you here, man, and to see you with these great historical icons, man. It's just an honor to have everybody back in studio with us. How's it going?
Oh, I'm excited to be here. You know, we on this mission right now, and VITAS, of course,
we're excited to go through this journey with them as they get ready for their big 40th convention that's going to be taking place in D.C. But it's just one of the things that VITAS has taken on as reaching out to the community to bring up under our wings. We just love the community to the fact that, you know, we're not just one-dimensional, not only just looking out for the well-being of our loved ones when it comes to inner-life care, but people in general. And the Tuskegee Airmen is one of our loved ones that nationally VITAS has embraced them, and now we have several markets under the VITAS wings that are doing the same thing that we're doing today. So we're excited, and Robert, I thank you and KHVN for allowing us to be a part of this historical moment.
We're just glad to have these very distinguished gentlemen here. We have heard so much about these Tuskegee Airmen, and let's get started here. We have Mr. Carl Platt with us today, and once again served as a primary flight instructor. And we want to just thank you, Tuskegee Airmen, because, you know, a fellow like me, or just those who are serving now this great country of ours, we wouldn't be able to do hardly anything if it hadn't been for men like you all. And we just want to thank you publicly for having the courage to do exactly what you've done.
Well, actually, I feel, you know, my great appreciation comes from you. I think I got a lot of cooperation in accomplishing what I did.
Yes, sir.
That goes to D.O. Davis, that goes to the Army Air Corps, and all the citizens of the country, because they, for some reason, was always behind us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, for people who may not know the history of the Tuskegee Airmen, why are you called the Tuskegee Airmen?
Because we call it Tuskegee Airmen because Tuskegee is the institute, and that's where the program originated. And I guess the other reason too, because of the fact that Davis was actually was a instructor at Tuskegee before the program started.
Yes.
And because of Davis and the location and the historical fact, Booker T. Washington, I think mainly was the reason that Tuskegee got the name from the group.
Amen.
The nation be more aware of these brothers and their significant role as what they had led for all of us as African Americans in the airways.
Right, and Wayne, God bless you. We thank you for being here. Just some of your thoughts and input here.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you having us on the show today. I just wanted to say more about VITAS and how VITAS has supported the Tuskegee Airmen with the inauguration. They supported Tuskegee Airmen last year going to San Antonio. They're supporting Tuskegee Airmen in some of their programs at the 40th reunion this year. And Patrick is the liaison for the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and he has been just a godsend.
Yes, yes.
He has gotten VITAS to do a lot of things for the Tuskegee Airmen, bringing them exposure, and just giving us a grand send-off as we get ready to go to our 40th reunion from DFW Airport. I'm sorry, from Southwest Airport.
Okay, all right, that sounds great. That sounds great. I'll tell you what, we're going to get ready to pause right now for just a real quick break. But if you'd like to join us with a comment or maybe a question for the very distinguished Tuskegee Airmen, feel free to give us a call. Also, if you have a question about VITAS, we can answer those questions as well. Now, coming up a little bit later on, we're still going to be talking with some citizens against eminent domain. Can you fight City Hall? Can you fight the school district when they want your property?
I do understand. I understand. This is my coworker already.
We got 2 out of the 4 here.
And just talk with Barbara for Mr. Holt, and that's his daughter. They're not going to make it.
Yes, I'm still sleepy.
Yeah, they haven't left the house. My team
heard that one before.
You heard that
Right. That's kind of funny because I was just telling you where you at. You thought it was built.
you so much for this day, for allowing us to gather here to commemorate, to remember the great sacrifices these men have done for this great country. We thank you, God, for allowing them and for allowing us, oh God, to be in their presence, to see, not only hear, but to see them as they travel, oh God, even to wash their masks for traveling grace. Thank you, oh God, for their commitment, not only to the lives of so many, oh God, but for this great country. And we bless you today, oh God. We bless them, oh God. Keep them ever mindful and keep us ever mindful that we'll stand on the shoulders of others, oh God, who laid down their life that we might have a better life and a better country. Bless us now as we go forward in this celebration. In Jesus' name we ask it all. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Henderson. For our Pledge of Allegiance now. Presenting the colors will be the 301st Fighter Wing Base Honor Guard. Present the colors.
Yeah.
Out. Ho! 3 and ho!
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ord. Ho! Out.
Fort Worth based Tuskegee Airmen. For 30 years, VITAS Innovative Hospice Care has been providing end-of-life care for these unique individuals that have served our country in the military. VITAS is a national sponsor of the Tuskegee Airmen National Convention that will take place this week in Washington, D.C. We're proud to support the Tuskegee Airmen Convention and salute the members of this organization who share the legacy with our younger generations. Today we are honored to recognize our very own Tuskegee Airmen at our Dallas VITAS program, and we personally will be escorting them to their national convention. It is now with great honor that I introduce to you the founder of the Dallas-Fort Worth chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen, Claude Platt.
Nothing where I went for my wife, I would have made it. So I never credit this thing.
Yeah, we're going to introduce some of the other members that we have available. If you could just state your name, I'll let you call your own name out so they can at least hear your voice too. Go ahead, sir. Homer Hose.
I'm Calvin Span.
I'm Robert T. McDaniel.
Just Mr. Clark. Right now, you all can have a seat. My name is Patrick Bullock, and I'm your community liaison. And what I do out in the community is reach out to the community and share with them about this word that oftentimes we tend to run away from when we should be embracing, and that's the word hospice care. And in the midst of all this, as my manager just alluded to, we reach out to the community in many ways. And working with the Tuskegee Airmen is one of the other avenues that we chose to work with. And now I've been working with this group now going on 4 years. And we're excited about our relationship with them. Not only do we deal with them on a local level, but nationally, we work with the Tuskegee Airmen. In the process currently right now, we have about, I think, 6 markets that's currently sponsoring these elite men as they go towards their Washington, D.C. trip. And Dallas, you know, we like to do it big. So I wanted to reach out to all the community and the various organizations to come out and support this send-off. And one of the things they wanted to do, they wanted to provide us with a presentation. So at this time, I met our founder, Brother Platt, as he moved forward with his presentation to our GM. There you go. Stay right there, sir. Sir, it's a great pleasure.
Thank you very much. And we do appreciate you all coming so early in the morning to be with us. And it is our great honor to be able to sponsor your trip to Washington. I hope you have a wonderful convention and safe travels.
Thank you very much. We wait for you. I wait for you.
Patrick is going to take this to Washington and have some of the other airmen sign it for us. And we are going to be very proud to display this in our office for a very long time.
We're moving quite swiftly, which is kind of good because we got to leave here at 9 o'clock. But due to the fact that we are moving quite quickly, I'm going to ask if Dr. Spann would just stand for just a few minutes just to share with us, you know, a little bit of the experience that they endured in the past and how things have been since they come into the States after the war. If you don't mind there, sir. But keep it brief. I know you love to talk.
And most of the fellows who got drafted ended up out here in Texas with Buffalo soldiers. And they advised me, they knew I wanted to fly, and said, if you want to fly, don't wait to be drafted, volunteer. So I volunteered, and I got into the Army Air Corps at the time. Well, I had to go home and ask my mother, could I go? I wasn't of age, so when I got home, she said, well, son, best you want to do, you go ahead, and I'll pray for you. And many times, when I was flying up over the Alps, I was hoping my mother was praying. And I'm here today, so this is praying.
So this was a very big moment for them and a big moment for us to be in a position to make that happen.
Homer Holmes and his wife Maddie Holmes. Would you like to stand up? Just to say just a few things about my father. He said it was kind of early in the mechanic, and he joined the Tuskegee Airmen in '46. One thing about him was that he participated in President Harry S. Truman's inaugural parade in February 1949. That was the first integrated inaugural parade, and it was the first televised. And one main thing again about him was that when he came back to Love Field, Braniff Airlines, to get a job because he thought that, oh, I have all of this training, but they said no. Only thing you can do for us is clean the planes. So he was so discouraged, and he went out of the aircraft business. but he wished he would have stayed in. But I'm very proud to be his daughter, and I just wanted you to know a little bit about him.
Choose to do this for the airmen today. VITAS Innovative Hospice Care for 30 years has been providing end-of-life care to America's veterans and meeting their unique needs by honoring their sacrifice, their service, and providing the best care possible. We became big sponsors of the Tuskegee Airmen on a national level. We're sponsoring the national convention. Locally, we've been supporting our Tuskegee Airmen through sponsoring a trip to the presidential inauguration and now to the national convention.
Is this an annual thing? The convention is an annual?
It is an annual event.
You guys sponsor every year?
This is our first year sponsoring it locally, yes. We sponsored the inauguration and then
And just talk about a little bit about the convention.
The Tuskegee Airmen National Convention is being held this week in Washington, D.C. at the Gaylord Hotel. And we have 4 Dallas-Fort Worth representatives from the Tuskegee.
I'm ready myself.
Take care.